Hello YouTube, this is going to be a very quick haul, just some of the stuff that I've bought just recently, or that I've received just recently, just today. Start off with something that I actually bought quite a while back, um, just two 7-inch Def Leppard singles. This one's Heaven Is. It's a little bit battered on the back, but I actually got this because it's a special edition autographed etched disc. That's the front of the disc, and look on the back, you can see that it's all signed with each band member's signature. There's Stick Rick, Vivian Campbell, etc. B-side of this is She's Too Tough, which I think went on to appear on the 1993 album, which its name escapes me right at the moment, which is kind of a compilation of B-sides and alternative versions. I'm sure that'll come to me. I'll stick it in the comments or whatever, or the little sections you can do. Anyway, so that's that, and also I've got Animal, which I've already got on the 12-inch. Again, I don't have a record player at the moment, so I've no idea the state of these. They look okay. B-side of that is Tear It Down, which of course went on to appear on Adrenalize on the final track of that. So I've got those two, and I've also been ordering again from Amazon. The used CDs on there are really useful. Well, for a start, they're incredibly cheap. I paid no more than about 50p for all but one of these CDs I'm going to show you. This one's Fleetwood Mac Tango in the Night, which is, I think, is a really good album. I always liked this album from way back when I think I rented it from the library just to get some tracks off it. That was like in the 90s. And I always remember that this album was really good, and it's actually much better than I remember. It's a really good album. I prefer this album to Rumours, personally, but I know some people might disagree or what have you. So some really good tracks in here. The title track, Tango in the Night, is probably my favourite. But yeah, Family Man's a good tune. Seven Wonders, of course, everyone will probably know. Mystified's a very underrated track. You and I Part 2 is kind of one of these Lindsey Buckingham kind of pop rock tunes that's really catchy. But Tango in the Night is a really kind of epic rock anthem, and I really like the cover as well. So that's that. I've also received today Whitesnake's Slip of the Tongue from 1989. This album gets slated a lot because it's there's a lot of kind of widdly guitar solos on it, and it's not as bluesy as some of the others. It features Steve Vai on guitar. A lot of people have said that Steve Vai and Whitesnake isn't a particularly good match, but I really like this album. I think some of the tracks in it are really good and really underrated. Sailing Ships, I think, is good. Slowpoke music is a bit of fun, but it's entertaining. Slip of the Tongue, the title track's really good. Cheap and Nasty is a great song. Feel For Your Loving, I do still prefer the original. This is like a 1989 reworking of that. But yeah, I think this is a very underrated album, and I like it. Sticking with Whitesnake, this is another CD I've got for literally pence from Amazon. It's got this horrible sticker on the end of it, unfortunately. But this is, of course, Whitesnake's 1987 album, Whitesnake's most successful album, and you've got great songs on here. Is This Love, Straight for the Heart, Children of the Night, Still of the Night, Give Me All Your Love, Bad Boys. I think it's just every single song's a winner. At some point, I'm going to do some kind of retrospective of the albums that were released kind of from 1987 to about 1993, because I think it's a really, really peak time for rock music. It's not really considered to be the peak of rock music or hard rock music in one sense, but a lot of people consider the 70s to be the period, and I really like all the 70s stuff, but for me there's some great albums released between 1987 and 1993, 94. So at some point I'm going to do some kind of retrospective on that. But anyway, this is an album from 97, I think. Yeah, 1997. This is Bruce Dickinson's solo album. The title actually doesn't appear on the front cover, which is a bit bizarre. It's actually called Accident of Birth. This album, I remember when it actually came out. My brother had it because he was a massive Maiden fan, and this features Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith, which is kind of a third of Iron Maiden as it is now in its present incarnation. Just open it up inside. There's a picture of Bruce, and this character, I think it did actually have a name, but I can't remember it, and it was kind of supposed to replace Eddie in a sense for Bruce Dickinson, but his second album, or is the album he did after this, kind of was very influenced by William Blake, and that I've heard is a really good album, but I haven't actually heard that yet. So at some point in the future, I'll be getting that, I think. I don't. This isn't his first solo album. He did Skunkworks. I don't know if he did another one as well. I know he did some solo stuff. He did a cover of Alice Cooper's Elected for Comic Relief, I think in '93, with Skin as his backup band. I think they were on the same record label, Sanctuary Records, at the time, and they appeared as they called themselves Taste. Well, according to Wikipedia, they did. I vaguely remember Elected, but obviously I wasn't a particularly big fan of Skin. 1993, I was 12 years old, so I really didn't. I was only just getting into music anyway at that point. I've only really kind of found out about Skin probably since I knew about them, but ever since I watched them at Download 2009 when they reformed, I've been a massive fan, and I'm actually going to see them in December, support Little Angels, which would be fun. So there you go, that's Accident of Birth, and that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any hauls yourself and you want to put them down below in this bit and put them as video responses, that's fine. But there you go, I'll just strew these CDs about and stick these two 7-inches in there, and that's your lot. See you next time.